What's up, guys? Be sure to share this and maybe give it to some friends that might find this type of thing useful. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit today about being better in EMS. And I did a little kind of goofy video the other day and gave 5 quick tips on that. And today I want to kind of focus on one of them. And if you want to be better in EMS, go check out my Paramedic Insider. It's at emsseo.com/insider. And you can start being better just by moving your knowledge base a little bit there. But today, I want to talk about. Well, let me tell you a story first. Back when I was an EMT, I had a partner I would work with sometimes, and every day, as soon as we started out, he would start spraying the back of the ambulance like crazy, wiping everything down with, the cleaner. Then he'd move to the front of the ambulance, wiping the steering wheel, the dashboard, the seats, the floorboards, everything. He'd be cleaning it up top to bottom, right, the whole inside of the ambulance. And then if there was time, he'd wind up washing the entire outside of the ambulance. I remember one day, dude, Anthony. I said, why do you always keep washing the truck every day, right? We're just gonna get in the truck to make it dirty with our asses, anyhow. But he would wipe the dashboard, and then he'd show me the dirt on the dashboard that the crew before was leaving us, right? And probably 2 crews before that, 3 crews if we weren't there for a few days, right? So as I started thinking that this is something that we should try to be doing as EMS professionals, right? And one thing that we can do is to try to leave the truck a little bit better than we found it. Right now, even when I became a supervisor, Anthony kept doing the same thing. This is going on for years. This isn't just a one-time thing, right? He would be doing this stuff for years on end. And the thing is that he would make it clean and then show people the same type of thing. People that work with him, show them the back of the towel, show how black it was, and how dirty the inside of the ambulance was. Right. So the funny thing is that he would end up, uh, you know, uh, kind of almost guilting people when they knew he was taking over the truck. That they would end up cleaning the truck as best they could because they didn't want to be embarrassed that they were leaving the truck with all that dirt on all the seats and on the cabinets and stuff like that, right? So by him doing that, sure, it's maybe a little over the top, maybe not always time enough to do that, right, in your system, but he would do it in a way so that people coming on the shift would be like, okay, Anthony's going to be relieving me tomorrow morning or later on today, whatever. I got to try to keep this truck clean because I don't want him to come after me and start wiping it down and see how dirty I left it, right? So by him doing that, it kind of motivated people to try to leave the truck better for the crew that was coming on, right? Because sometimes they didn't even know that he was going to be the relief because every day when you came in, it would be on a board what truck you were on, right? It would be 4 or 5 trucks, and you would be split up depending upon the needs of the department that day. So if you knew he was coming in and you were one of the 4 trucks that were, the shift before him, you kind of made sure that you kept the truck a little bit, cleaner than what you might normally do, right? But it ended up, and then I became a supervisor and I was managing these people, and in my head, I remember what I would do, and then I started seeing people kind of doing the same thing, right? And it ended up almost like a snowball effect where everyone in the whole department was kind of getting motivated to keep the trucks cleaner, right? And there's things that you can do when you're trying to do that. It doesn't have to be you have to keep clean the truck from top to bottom, right? Just leave it better than you got it. Dump the trash. Don't leave needles or blood drops all over the place, right? Think about when you start your next shift. Open the back of the doors. What are you looking at, right? What do you see? Is it messy? Is it organized? Is it look everything you can get to everything easily? Is it a freaking nightmare and the last thing you want expected or you wanted to see when you open the back doors was a complete shambles in the back, right? Now, of course, the crew before you never know. They could have a bad shift, come in and have time to do everything on the last call. Maybe it's a late call, they didn't get to everything. Those are different situations, right? I'm talking about just day-to-day basis, day-to-day stuff that you go through when we all know that you're sitting, you're waiting to get called in to be relieved, or you go back to the station, you're standing around, you're bull crap on everybody else. Meanwhile, your truck is a mess. dump the trash. Like I said, get rid of any kind of needles. Do an overview. Sometimes we leave an empty catheter sitting there. Sometimes you might leave something laying around someplace. You don't want to, overlook that, right? So do a quick overview. Make sure you're not leaving things a nightmare. You're not leaving it a mess, right? Whatever state that you find it in when you open those back doors and you look in the front of the truck, are there wrappers everywhere? Empty coffee cups? Is there, trash, napkins, little wrappers for paper, potato chips or cookies or whatever, right? Whatever state you find it in, right? Try to be the person that doesn't pass that on to the next crew, okay? You can do simple things, like I said, wipe down things, the cabinet doors, right? Wipe down the seats, wipe down, the front seat. You'd be surprised, okay? Thinking about bringing that crap home to your family, or having that on your uniform as you're going throughout your day and you're sitting in other seats and you're eating and things like that, right? Put that in your head that there's a method to it that's not just benefiting the crew that might be relieving you, it's also benefiting you as a provider that day, right? And you can do other things too. Go a little further sometimes, and I've done this too, where I've went ahead and done an inventory of a bag, right? Sometimes you have some downtime. Get motivated, man. I've done it where I've taken the pediatric bag that we don't use all that much, open up the pediatric bag, start going through stuff. Make sure stuff isn't brown and brittle, or expired or getting ready to expire, right? Neaten it up. Make sure it's where you can access stuff. Make sure the Brazil tape is someplace that's easy to get to. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It's never going to really be perfect. Just try to leave it better than it was, and I think you're going to feel better, and the crew after you is going to feel better. And like I said, maybe it'll be the type of thing where you end up having a little bit of like a snowball effect when it comes to what you're doing. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. I hope this makes sense to you. I hope maybe it gives you a little tweak and just something you can do. And I think you'll find that other people will start appreciating it, and then they will in turn want to do the same thing. Of course, there's always a few people that don't really give it, that don't care, and we just have to hope that they're going to go ahead and transition out of EMS and go someplace else, right? But if you're the person that cares about your job, about your appearance, your professionalism, and where you're going in this job, this is just one thing you can do, right, to be better in EMS. And like I said earlier on, guys, if you want to move your knowledge needle, you want to kind of be better in EMS as far as your knowledge and understanding what you're doing in EMS, go to TurboMedic. There's a free level there. You can sign up. It's at emsseo.com/insider. You can sign up and get gigabytes of content there, audios, videos, some practice exams, all geared to help you move your knowledge needle just a little bit and be a better EMS professional. But like I said, check out what I talked about earlier if you're just coming into this video, and think about the things you can do when you're leaving your truck maybe just a little bit better than you found it. Okay? All right, guys, that's it for me. As always, Jim Hoffman from emsseo.com. Stay safe.